father of his country, she raised him, his advertisements proclaimed. When Heth died the next year, Barnum ordered a public autopsy. An unexpectedly honest doctor revealed that, far from being born in 1674, Heth was no more than 80 years old. Barnum professed astonishment. He'd been conned by Heth and her ex-master, he declared. Then his business partner upped the ante and declared that Barnum had found Heth on a plantation and trained her himself to pass for Washington's nurse. The public enjoyed both tales, and Barnum enjoyed spreading both tales. People wanted to believe and know they'd been conned, as long as they didn't know when or how. In 1842, Barnum opened his American Museum on Lower Broadway in New York City. It cost 25 cents to get in, not an inconsiderable sum in those days. One ticket guaranteed admission to lectures, theatrical performances, an animal menagerie, and a glimpse of human curiosities, living and dead. An exhibit features Madame Clofulia from Europe. Madame was born in Switzerland. In a photograph, she stands quietly in her black ruffled gown, resting a hand gently on her husband's shoulder. There is a bunch of white lace at her throat, but it is partially hidden by her long, dark, bushy beard. An angry museum patron takes her to court. She is a man, he protests. The suit is free advertising for Barnum. He takes a group of physicians to court with him. Together they offer medical proof that Madame Clofulia is biologically female. She goes on working at the museum. It isn't always easy to find genuine human wonders like Madame Clofulia. As a man of the theater, Barnum knows how to turn a startling visual effect into an adventure yarn. Put a tattooed man in a loincloth, and he becomes Prince Constantinus of Greece. The prince was kidnapped by the Khan of Kashgar. That is why he has 185 tattoo patterns on his body, each one cruelly carved into his flesh with needles. Michael Jackson read Barnum's autobiography fervently, at least one of the 8 versions, and gave copies to all his staff, telling them, "I want my career to be the greatest show on earth." So he became both producer and product, the impresario of himself. Who among us can't recall at least one of the stunts that followed? Michael sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber like a handsome young pharaoh in his tomb, or the lovely Snow White in her glass casket? He was obsessed with the Elephant Man. He claimed he saw the movie 35 times, never once without weeping all the way through. He made repeated attempts, offered millions of dollars to buy the bones from the British Museum. He appeared in public wearing a surgical mask. He could have been the doctor in an old horror film, looming over the evil or tragic man about to have his identity and destiny changed forever. Then we see him without the mask, on stage, at an award ceremony, in court, and realize he has been that man for a long time. He became a one-man conglomerate with global reach, his own records and videos, the Beatles catalog, Pepsi commercials, world tours. He was transnational. He reenacted his supremacy in video after video. If you want to be my baby, don't matter if you're black or white. If you want to dance with me, don't matter if you're Indian, Russian, African, or Native American. You can morph into anything. Pudgy Eskimo into buff, white American lad with straight honey blonde hair, American lad into slim, brown-skinned lass with dark brown frizzy hair. You can be any age, race, or gender. Global idealism is at one with global marketing. If you want to buy my records, don't matter who, what, or where you are. Barnum's museum exhibits, ethnological curiosities, and circus sideshows also set the pattern for our daytime talk shows. The difference between then and now? Barnum's people were supposed to be freaks of nature, outside the boundaries of the normal. Ours are marketed as lifestyle freaks. Psychology and sociology have played as big a part as biology. That's the point of those long confessional interviews with the host and those fraught exchanges with the audience. Nighttime shows like Fear Factor are recreational sideshows. Eating slug sandwiches and jumping into sealed tanks turned the old carnival tricks, sword swallowing, biting chickens' heads off, into middle-class pranks. Everyday people indulge their whims and get their hit of fame. More and more they involve play acting and wish fulfillment. This week, you make deals Donald Trump respects. You're the average Joe. The right woman picks over the handsome stud. Your extreme makeover turns you from a dog to a babe. More and more of these shows are updates of the old talent contest. Now, though, the backstage tale, the life story, matters as much as the performance. Maybe more. It's about watching the struggle to be the best that you can be, even when you're preposterous. It's about living out your dream. These stories follow, or long to follow, the arc of Michael's early life. You start small, but you have the talent. You work night and day. You make your way to the big city at last, audition for the right talent scouts and producers. You win a contract, and you're shot at fame. Star Search, American Idol, so you think you can dance. Michael Jackson became world famous because he was a world-class talent. His 1983 performance of Billie Jean at the televised tribute, Motown, Yesterday, Today, Forever, placed Michael Jackson against the backdrop of his show business childhood. The other performers were aging. They looked like they were barely surviving liquor and drug crises, feuds, plain old illness, and career lapses. Michael looked like a pristine creation, untainted by that past. Michael was in profile as the bass line of Billie Jean rumbled up, legs apart, knees bent in demi-plie, one hand lightly touching his fedora. A hoofer cavalier in high water pants. 8 counts of pelvic thrusts turned him into a soul man cavalier. A quick kick and thigh slap on each side, then he faced the audience, and smack on the beat, threw his hat into the wings. Song and dance man. Then he mimicked a 50s bad boy, giving his hair a quick comb. All the elements of the persona we would come to know were on display. The wardrobe that joined severity, black pants, fedora, loafers, with glitter, sparkle, and eccentricity, sweater jacket and shirt, white socks, single white glove. Passion that stirred the audience, yet felt private and mysterious. The intense theatricality and how he stretched small gestures into long lines of movement. Every choreographer has signature moves and combinations. Here was the core of Jackson's style. The angled feet and knock knees of the funky chicken, Gritty, and the Charleston, more soigné. Various runs and struts, the corkscrew kicks forward, as fast as judo kicks, the spin turns, the moonwalk, and the sudden crouch when, instead of falling to his knees, he rises on his toes. It's a ballet movement, and a small variation on that move shifts the tension. When he rises with feet and knees together, he looks powerful. With knees together and feet apart, he looks vulnerable, even stricken. Billie Jean is a song about anxiety and guilt, desire and resentment, fathering a child and being a child. In the bridge, when he sang of how Mama warned him, "Be careful what you do, because a lie becomes the truth," he jumped straight into the air 3 times. The genie in the bottle is a young man who can't control his energies. In the repeat bridge, as he recalled, "The smell of sweet perfume, she brought me to her room," he jumped from foot to foot, with his knees up, like a boy having a tantrum. And finally, as he sang, the expressive arms outstretched, hands pleadingly open, musical theater melodrama, then an emphatic fist or sudden wrist curl, an index finger pierce in the air, chitlin circuit bravado. He brought one hand across his face when he sang, "His eyes were like mine," about the mystery child. We saw his round, dark eyes through spread-out fingers, Motown mime. He ended stage center, right arm in the air, looking drained but exalted. He created the show. He was the show. Idea man, song and dance man, money man. but by the